great things in digital assets. This whole debate, sorry to bring it up, but, I know there's some movement on stablecoins in the UK, but, 40% yield-free, interest-free. Guys, it's just not going to work, right? Do we want this country, this island, to be significant in the world of capital markets? Come on. And then you go to the United States of America, and they're saying you can't earn passive interest on stablecoin deposits. What else are you supposed to do with it, right? It's just crazy. And then they're worried about deposit flight from incumbents. I think you got to flip it around. So one person's risk is another person's opportunity. Yeah. That's a real risk. But what about the community bank in Alabama being able to offer digital asset yield on deposits from their farmers? That's the opportunity.
For those not familiar, you're talking about the real fierce fight in the US between the traditional banks and the community banks and the crypto companies that has now sort of been resolved with Clarity Act, but yeah. Continue.
Well, it'll be resolved if they sign it.
Yes.
What's poly market today? 65%?
60, yeah, I think it was 60%.
Okay, that means done, right?
Well, I'm not commenting on poly market bets on stage. Yeah, who knows what's going on out there. But in terms of risks, you see the risks of the growth being too slow? Is that what I'm taking?
Yeah, look, the risk is, and there is some real market risk and credit risk if we move too quickly. So I would, again, I'm going to bring it back to the United Kingdom because I'm sitting here. I would be mildly critical at our pace of change here, but by the way, I don't think that's driven by regulators. I think it's driven by governments and policy. Okay, so you need people to be in favor of that. So there's a risk of going too slowly. So in any jurisdiction, you become irrelevant. There's a risk of going too slowly as a corporate. You're probably looking around the room if you've been around a while, like myself. If you didn't have an internet strategy 25 years ago, you didn't have a future. Okay? If you don't have a digital asset strategy, if you're not au fait with blockchain technology, if you don't understand how to move digital programmable money, you're not going to have a future. Okay, so there's a real risk there. Now, the other end of the risk is we just go crypto, bro, right? We just go, okay, let's just settle everything atomically. Okay, slow down, everyone, right? Are we familiar? Have we read the smart contract? Everyone in the room. By the way, you can read a smart contract. They're that short. They're that understandable, right? This old dinosaur can understand it and understand where the risk is. Do you understand how you settle, right, on that smart contract? And by the way, each and every smart contract, or are we just going to willy-nilly support or agree with Claude, right? And ChatGPT. Have you noticed how that's happened, by the way? I mean, within 6 months, all of a sudden, whatever Claude tells me, I treat it as fact. I mean, how long before we have that disinformation?
Yeah, well, I think that's a punchy point to pause and see if there's anyone in the audience with any questions. If you'd like to pop your hand up. Come on, I know it's the first keynote of the day, but there must be one question.
Must have been thrilling.
Yeah.